Hello, everyone. It's another day. Here we are. We're making our way through March now. It's rainy outside, at least for me. I don't know how it is for everyone else, but it's raining as fuck over here.
It's gloomy as fuck over here, so I get you.
We had rain yesterday, so we just need gloomy now.
It's a nice moist episode of the Now With That Attitude podcast. As always, I'm your resident Dr. Cal Pigeon, and joining me are Tick and MZ as always. How are we doing today, guys?
Sleepy.
Sleepy. You're always sleepy.
Yeah.
More so than normal. I woke up this morning, did not realize that I fell back asleep, and woke up at 2. So, like, you know,
Yeah.
it's one of those days.
Yeah, just one of those moments like you blink and suddenly it's the next day. It's like, what the?
Yeah.
No, those good naps when you sleep so hard and you think you woke up the next day and you only slept like 2 hours, those are good fucking naps.
Or the ones where you just like close your eyes, but then you end up sleeping the entire like night away.
Those are also
No.
really good sleeps.
Like you just lie down for like like a bit at 7, and then you think, oh, I'm gonna get up. At 9, I'll like quickly do something that I need to do, and then next thing you know, it's like 6 a.m.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, what do we
You
got
love
on the
those
menu for today?
Well, I got a little hypothetical for y'all I came across on the radio the other day. But before that, a little quick little shout out to Akira Toriyama, in case no one's heard.
Yeah.
Passed away the other day. You will be missed, Mr. Toriyama. You have been a staple of at least my childhood and many other people's childhoods. Thank you so much for Dragon Ball Z. You'll be missed.
So much Dragon Ball Z stuff from elementary
Right.
school.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dude, he was only 68.
Right.
Only, I mean, it sounds old, but still, like, I think you think so. Nah.
I feel like it
come on.
doesn't sound as old now because our parents are closer to that age.
Yeah, I guess.
But when you're little, like, damn, that sounds really old.
Yeah.
See, but my brain is going like, okay, like 68 is like, yeah, it's up there, but it's not terribly up there yet. But at the same time,
No.
you're Asian, so you should have a
You should be living forever.
Today's technologies, it's like, today's technologies, we easily live 80, 90, 100, so like...
Right.
But it was, from what I understand, it was a really sudden, like, aneurysm situation.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So that would not be something that he could have prevented.
Yeah, sadly.
Yep.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Cheers to you, sir. But anyway, so
Break out your Kraken.
too much work. Anyway, let's see what was like. Okay, so on the radio the other day, I couldn't read the whole story because one of those no bullshit sites where you're like, oh, subscribe to so and so to read the full article.
Yeah.
But like, but the gist of it was, so like a mother, walked in on her teenage son.
Okay.
With a girl, but like, so like to the mom's knowledge, like he was already in a relationship with one girl, like got to know her, like she'd already been to the house several times, already had like kind of established like friendship going on, things like that, right? But then one day walks in and he's with a completely different girl making out, and she's like can't decide whether to say something,
Yeah.
or to like intervene or like give her 2 cents or something like that, and kind of spurred a whole conversation on the radio about like what each of the hosts would do. It's like, okay, are we gonna just let them figure it out on their own? Are we gonna say something? Are we gonna try to stop this? So kind of wanted to hear what y'all would do in that situation if your teenage son or daughter suddenly was with some rando they never met before, but you knew they were already in a relationship with someone else. You basically just find out that they're cheating on someone that you already know. So would you do anything or just leave it?
I feel like I would ask questions first.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes there are updates in relationships that you don't know about.
Right.
Because I wouldn't talk to my mother about my relationships like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's been established and like they answer honestly, and the big thing is if they answer honestly,
I mean, say you're the parent, would you go and say something to your child?
Oh, I would definitely tell him off. Like, dude,
Mhm.
what the fuck are you doing? You're being a dumbass.
It's actually cheating and stuff. Like,
Right.
Once
Yeah.
I know and can confirm there's like guaranteed cheating and there's like nothing that can deny
Oh,
it.
oh
or
yeah, yeah.
anything,
In the situation,
you
yeah, like in the
Okay,
situation,
Yeah.
so if it's
yeah.
a case where I definitely know it's guaranteed cheating, then yeah, I'm absolutely gonna like say something. But frankly, I'm gonna go that step further where I'm gonna like go ahead and just tell their significant other. Because
Right.
like, listen, at that
I would
point,
do the same.
yeah, don't
I would
fucking
do the
play around
same.
like that, bro. Like, they may be my
Especially-
kid, but I'm gonna raise them to be like fucking honorable, and they better act that shit, or else I'm gonna out them. They need to know.
Like, especially if they're fooling around, because you don't know what the fuck they're putting their dick into.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
that goes for boys and girls. Like,
right.
Yeah.
girl messing around with another dude, you don't know what the other dude's dick has been in.
Yeah.
Let's just say. Like, no, you don't do that to people,
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
one.
'cause,
And for
like-
two, that's not emotionally okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because like it was just interesting to listen to, because like the main host of the radio show, he was like, it's like no, just leave it, let the kids figure it out on their own. They can just they make that bed, they'll lie in it, they'll suffer the consequences, let them figure it out on their own. Just like completely hands off. Where
Well,
you have,
hey,
like-
part of the consequences is people get told.
Right. And then of course, so the other two, they were like, well, at least one of them was like she would definitely say something if her daughter did something like that, but
Yep.
she couldn't really quite decide whether to go any further than that or not.
Like, for me, I'd
Um,
definitely just say something to the partner, but then I'd leave it at that.
Right. Yeah.
I would say
'cause-
something to both if
Mhm.
I had the opportunity to say something
Yeah.
to both. Because that's the right thing to do.
Mhm.
And you have to teach your kids that there are consequences for the
Right.
actions that they take emotionally and like legally, not just,
Mhm.
hey, I fucked up at school, my grades are going to drop. That's great. But also, like, if you're doing something to another human being, that's not okay.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't raise no piece of shit. Come on now.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Like, if I'm,
Like,
if I'm
your
raising
goal
a
is
kid,
raise
I'm raising them to be,
responsibility.
honorable at least to a degree.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because like I would definitely sit them down and have a conversation, but like at the end of the day, like I know I can't really stop them from doing what they're gonna do.
Right, so I'm just gonna still at least warn the other person if it's gonna affect them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would go that far as like to go and tell tell the person that they're cheating on, because I'm just like
It depends on your relationship with their partner. I feel like, because I guess for me, I would want, if I had a son
hmm
in particular, I would want to make a relationship with their partner
Yeah.
hmm
to establish that, hey, I am a safe space to come to in case my son does something shitty.
Yeah.
hmm I mean, do factor in like, well, at least in this scenario, they're still teenagers.
Yep.
So
Right.
and we all know what it was like being a teen. So it's like shit doesn't often last long as a teenager. So
Right.
Right,
whether
which is
your
why I
relationships or
wanted,
anything else, yeah.
which is why I wanted to ask questions first, because like I
Mhm.
said, statuses change very quickly, very often.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember being a teenager very, very distinctly. I had a friend that would jump from friend to friend to friend in the dating pool, and it would just
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, because it's just like, yeah, no, I would definitely like sit down and have a conversation. I was like, hey, come on, this is really shitty. I didn't raise you to be like this. No,
Right.
you're so and so no doesn't deserve this. I mean, if you're not feeling it with them anymore, then just be upfront and tell them. Don't
Basically.
do this bullshit behind their back.
Yeah, and it's how they react
Right.
that can vary and depend on whether you tell the partner at that point, which you realistically should though anyway.
hmm
Right, like if
it's to a
they're
point where they
respectful about it.
acknowledge- Yeah, if they acknowledge that they're and stuff, and don't make any changes though, or don't try anything.
hmm
And sometimes it is best to tell the partner so they don't end up hurt.
Right. Yeah, because thinking because like so during the show, people were like sending in tweets or comments or whatever, and I think one person messages in saying that so like this particular scenario happened to him, but the difference was that like he was honest, with the ex, and he's like, hey, I'm not feeling anymore. Like I'd rather be with this person, and he broke it off that way. But his parents actually shamed him for being honest about it and being upfront about it.
Yeah, no, at that
Which
point,
fucking blew my mind.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
'cause,
that's
like,
weird.
The thing is, like, it doesn't matter if it's a like I get it's like something that you know obviously don't want your kid to be doing, but like the fact they were honest about it should be commendable. And you should be
Right.
like, I don't agree with what you did, but your honesty at least is enough where I'm not going to punish you over it either. You're just going to have to accept the consequences of whatever happens with the whatever's going on. That I'm not going to have an influence on. I'm not going to punish you any further because you're already punishing yourself.
Right.
And I think
At least you should be punishing yourself.
Right? Yeah, or the consequences of their actions will punish them. It's like
right.
it's like
That's
I
kind of
at
weird
least
that
am
they
open to
shamed him
accepting
about
it,
that,
honestly.
though.
Yeah,
Right. I'm just like,
because like all that does is
fuck?
destroy their relationship with him, and now he's never going to tell them a thing ever again. Probably. People don't realize how influential a parent's behavior is on their children, even well into the
Right.
teenage years. Like you can
Right.
still be,
100%.
even at like age 16, like one thing you do can affect a child for their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
As a parent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like, but yeah, because like I was just listening to them while I was at work. And I'm like, what the what? And it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That would definitely
on,
be
people.
ask questions, have a conversation, sit them down, and make sure that they understand that there are consequences for that kind of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they aren't going to do it themselves, you step in. If you trust them to do the right thing and say something, then you leave it
Right.
to their own.
It depends too on like whether it would be a case where they'd have to actually, do something themselves, or if just like the natural consequences would kick in at some point or another soon after. Like,
Well, I feel like that is a natural consequence. Somebody caught you and informed the other person.
yeah,
Like, that would have happened.
yeah,
I just feel like it's over because it's one thing sitting them down to have a conversation, but then actually like going in and acting on it as a parent. I'm just like, I feel like that's overstepping.
not necessarily. It's one of those things
I mean-
where because like the problem is. Let's say they're dishonest about it and they don't do anything about it, but even if they act like they understood it, or maybe they did understand, but they still don't do anything. It's important to still let people who are going to be affected by this in some fashion understand what's going on.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on
Realistically,
it
it's unfair for
depends on
that
how close
person.
you are. It depends on how close you are. Because for me, how I'm seeing it, it's like it depends on how close I am with whoever my child is cheating on. Depends on how close I am with them. Because
And
like
for me, it wouldn't matter because there's still a human child that's going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And if I am a parent, I'm still responsible for my child's decisions at that point until they're 18. I am still technically responsible for you. And if you do something that's going to affect somebody else, I have the responsibility to make sure that make sure that you do the right thing. But if you're not going to do the right thing on your own, then I'm going to force that lesson into you one way or another. And if I have to do it by giving that natural consequence of, hey, I caught you, and if I were somebody that like was friends with your girlfriend, I'm going to tell your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It's just one of the things that I'm kind of like.
it
iffy
sounds
about
weird.
Again.
It does sound weird.
Because if my child was, or yeah, if my child was an adult, then it'd be like, oh yeah, hands off, I'm fully hands off. That's you, bro. It's like not my monkey,
Right.
not my circus. But as a teen, it's like it's really hard for me to like.
Because you want to give them the autonomy.
It just comes, yeah, it really just comes down to how well I knew their the person that they were cheating on. That's really what it boils down to for me.
Yeah.
But,
and you want to give them the autonomy to do the right thing on their own. But I guess for me, I know that I still have that responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, just having the conversation with them is enough. Because I'm also like constantly reminded of like how I was as a teenager. Cause it's like how, I mean, again, I've talked about how fucking independent I am now. I was even just as independent back then, and just like how I hated my parents getting. Well, I mean, not really hated, but just fully annoyed when my parents tried to like get in and intervene on anything or always trying to interest themselves into something. But right, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's situational, of course, but yeah. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I kept a
heavily
diary in
situational.
elementary school, and my
Of course you
mom
did.
read my diary.
Yeah, shit like that. I was like, come on now.
Yeah.
So like, if it's organic, if I had left it open and she caught it, that would have been one thing.
Right.
Yep.
But I know
But
I
actually,
didn't
like,
leave
go
it
in your room
open.
and dig it up and open it and check it.
Oh,
And,
yeah, that's the sort of like mentality that I have. Like, you're the one that allowed this to be caught,
Right.
therefore, like, you weren't good. And also, you shouldn't be doing that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's your consequences. I know, and therefore I have the ability to say something
Mm-hmm.
if you don't do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think part of it is just like I can't be bothered to care enough to take that step to go out of my way to tell the person I'm cheating on.
Right.
It's just like I mean, y'all know me. Don't really care for drama in any form. So it's just like, all right, I'm gonna tell my son or daughter like, hey, this is shitty. You're being shitty. It's like I'm gonna tell you what you should do, but it's entirely up to you. It's the ball's in your court. You suffer the consequences. You made this bed. Good fucking luck. Bye.
You would be the hands-off kind of person.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the consequence, but then you're on your own.
For me, it's like I would try to be primarily hands off, but there are definitely some things where I'd step in if it really felt like it was something that we're stepping in on. Again, mostly if it was something where if they
Something
were
else is being
resistant to a
affected.
problem, I would someone else is being like heavily affected or could be.
Yeah, because it's one thing if it's like something involving no bodily harm or something that's going to significantly impact their livelihoods, their future. Then yeah, absolutely, step in, take action.
Right.
But yeah, again, it varies to what levels of extreme this is all going to.
It's like basically it's one of those things where everything is just about situational and varies heavily depending on the on very similar factors or very different factors. Because like what you could have two situations that are exceedingly similar, but they'll have that one thing that can genuinely dictate what you should be doing or how you should be acting in that case.
Right. And every kid is different.
Right. But at least generally for this, y'all would obviously say something and then take action to help the person you're cheating on. Okay. Oh, fucking hate people. Anyway.
I said that many times this week.
Yeah, right.
It's a weekly thing.
Oh fuck. That yeah, what was it? There was Oh, okay. So earlier today, what was I watching? It was damn it. What was it? I think it was Matt Pat's last film theory video, I believe. Yeah, it was his very last film theory video. I think he brought up
yeah.
Okay. Shit. Okay. So male role models in in cartoons, like cartoon, like TV shows, cartoons, whatever. He kind of like asked the question, like asked the staff like if they could like name as many as they could, and they found that it was like really hard to think of like actual like good male role models in cartoons like over the years. And so I'm wondering if there are any that I'll go more into it, but like are there any that immediately come to mind for you guys as like just stand up, good quality male role models in cartoons?
Yeah, and that's the tough part because like there really isn't a lot because
Yeah,
because that's the thing, like a lot of the cartoons, they obviously there a lot of them are very slapstick, so they aim for that whole goal of the father of the family is just like a bumbling idiot who does nothing.
right.
And it's like
Or is a workaholic and only pays attention
if we
to
were
work.
if we were to go with a cartoon that had an exceptional male role model, it would definitely be Bandit Healer from Bluey.
That's it. Yeah, that's exactly the one he brought up. That's exactly the first one he brought up.
Yeah, because he's, it's like, because like a lot of the old age stuff, it really doesn't have a lot of male influence in there.
Yeah, because as he went deeper into it, he like this goes like all the way back to like probably more than 100 years ago. But like he because like you think about back then, like because like the specific example he brought up was Peter Pan.
Yep.
Where you have the dynamic of Peter Pan himself, then all the Lost Boys. They're wild, they're crazy, they never want to grow up.
Right.
They just want to just have fun all day. And then Peter meets Wendy, like brings her back to Neverland, and they get that taste of someone who's a little more mature, and they realize, oh, maybe we don't want to stay as kids forever. Maybe we do want to grow up.
Yeah.
And and it kind of really showcases the mindset from back then of like, oh, boys will be boys, and then the girls got to be ones to mature quickly in order to get the boys in straight so that they'll be able to mature and things like that. And we've had like the domino effect of that since,
right?
Where like fast forward to now, where we've had like in the past decade like a huge surge of like really great female role models in cartoons and shows and things like that, but we still have next to none for the guys, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like it's just really weird. It's like, why the fuck don't we? And what did they say? Because
I feel like part of it's because there's an oversaturation of just male figures in general, not necessarily good or bad, but just males in general.
Well, I mean, no, see, that's the thing. That's how it started out for sure. But now it's at equilibrium in terms of like numbers.
Right.
It's pretty even now.
But that's what I mean, because we started that way. That's why they focused so hard on making it equal. And I feel like now they're having the opportunity to explore better role models for both, but especially men, so that you have the Bluey characters that are balanced and they have flaws, but they're also just really genuinely good people at their core.
Right. And I think the main reason I'm trying to see it's starting to come back to me now. So the main reason that he behind why again, money and the toy industry. So boys, I think, how did he describe it? So like boys typically when they're playing with toys specifically, they kind of do it like in a third person. So like they're like the director directing how the scene or the whole scene goes with the toys and whatnot, whereas girls typically play in first person, like the full on dress up, and they're like trying to put themselves in the shoes in the dollhouse. So they kind of, the industries would capitalize that by, I mean, and working in tandem with the cartoon industry to design all the characters and all the aspects to make them as toyifiable as possible to rake in all those millions.
Yeah, make it slapstick enough and
right. So, and why as time has gone on, especially now, you have, at least for the girls, you have such I know I'm butchering this. Okay, so like you have your Elsas, your Carmen Sandiegos, the whatever the mom from Bluey, like just like all these mature female characters that the little girls can relate to.
Yeah.
And idolize and whatnot, but whereas like on the boys side you have like just I mean sure you have like your superheroes, but at the same time it's still deep and like there's a lot of no violence around that, and then of course
you're, not only that, like, but the superheroes still set you to a specific standard.
Right. Yeah, like it's too unrealistic. There's still a lot of violence around it, and then like all your other choices for the most part, just like goofy boy like Phineas and Ferb was like another one he brought up. It's like every day they're doing the opposite of what their parents tell them to do, getting mischief and whatnot.
You can't have like these days. It's like when it comes to how males are portrayed in media, you can't have one who's responsible. You can't have one who's not like overly confident or cocky or annoyingly like out there, outgoing. You gotta have those instead of the. You can't have the same level of variety that gets represented for female characters these days.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you can. They're just actively choosing not to because they would just want to make the money.
I mean by you can't. It's
like, okay.
They're basically trying to push a narrative, you know, to the point where it's like you just generally can't have it because they don't want to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's basically what they're trying to tell you is you can't be this, this, or this. You have to be what is being represented in the media.
Right.
You know, otherwise they would be representing other types of males in the media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The males that you do get are all child, like they're all made to be children.
Yeah.
Like even in the adult, like not adult, but like in films that are rated like R and whatnot, you have like the guys that are just getting high all the time, or you have the idiots that fall for the manic pixie dream girl because they want like this perfect idealized thing because they also want to be perfectly idealized. Like,
yeah, because for the boys, they just make the characters all like, no, loud and obnoxious and no flashy and da-da-da. Like, just to get their attention and get them excited and buy the toys, buy all the merch, buy the product.
Yeah,
right.
It's one of those things where
it fucking sucks.
Yeah, they're trying to basically put it in a situation where it's very limited on what they provide to the boys out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we're still living in this world where the ideal male is, you know, like powerful, strong, etc., yada yada, you know, protective, blah blah blah, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's like a case where they don't want us to see other like ways that a guy can be, or you know, like because like, you know, like it's one of those things where they don't want the variance in males anymore.
Right, because they'll cut into their profits.
Right.
Everything has to be a stereotype, guys. Didn't you know?
Yeah.
Haven't you all lived in a box like I have?
Yeah.
I had to be a box.
What? You? Pff, nah.
Nah.
No, that's it, guys. I'm giving up fried chicken and watermelon. I'm breaking the cycle.
Do it. Do it, I dare you.
Of course, I say that, but like I already like rarely ever have fried chicken and watermelon, so.
Don't forget the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I haven't had Kool-Aid since I was like so small.
Like,
I'm just throwing out the stereotypes, guys.
Yeah, right.
Don't come for me, please.
No, it's purple drink. Get it right, purple drink.
Purple drink. I'm sorry.
God.
God, I'm so white.
Yeah, because it's just like, yeah, no, I was just a full-on Gatorade kid, just like full-on powder mix. Just mixing the pitcher myself, putting way too much powder in there, putting more than the recommended amount.
Does it need to be extra purple?
No, just lemon lime Gatorade, just a lemon lime Gatorade mix. That was like my exclusive drink. Yeah, lemon lime. Yep, live and learn now. That's my exclusive drink for like most of my childhood. With occasionally mixing it with ginger ale, it was awesome.
Oh man.
It's like the only times I would get anything different was either the school cafeteria or like family get-togethers, and they have just a whole assortment of stuff in the coolers. The fucking barrels. Remember the barrel juices or whatever the fuck they're called?
Hugs.
Yeah.
They're called hugs.
Hugs. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I loved hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those and Capri Suns.
Oh yeah, Capri Suns were the best. They were like next to impossible to get your straw in, but you know what?
Just right.
It was great.
Right.
Kids don't know how good they have it these days.
You know, right? With their fucking 50 different, specially designed, energy drink, whatever.
Yeah, the Capri Suns actually have like designed straws now that are good to poke the hole in for their straws. Like they're actually good at it now. I'm like, I hate everything. Why couldn't we have the easy straws? Because it builds character.
This is why these younger generations, their dexterity sucks, because they didn't have to try hard with the Capri Suns.
That's fair. That's fair. I do have that. I do have that going for me, which is nice.
Like no dexterity, no precision.
What's that?
Like,
but yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was like, because I was watching his final film there, and it was like, oh man, that's something like I've never thought about. Because like, well, I mean, I guess like to some degree we probably like all like realize or were aware of, but just never gave any deep thought to. Because like
Yeah, because
you have
this is
like
one
the
of those
obvious.
things where, unlike the
Uh-huh.
woman side of things, where it wasn't heavily normalized, and as such, we're allowed to be like realize like a lot faster. Like, oh yeah, this is a problem with women. The male side of things has been so unbelievably normalized within society that we're
Hmm.
basically quite literally just blind to it and don't even recognize it
Right.
because it's something that we have had normalized to us to the point where we're so used to it that we just don't think to question it
Mm-hmm.
in the same caliber
100%.
where a minority who hasn't had that normalized, is able to be questioned about it because they actually can see it now and it's not, a typical part of life anymore. Or
Right.
it never
Exactly.
was, rather.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sorry, guys. We're never gonna know who Ash Ketchum's dad was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was the mime, didn't you know?
it was about the mime. Well, that it wouldn't make any sense timeline wise because
Yeah.
they met way
It
after.
doesn't need to make sense.
Yeah,
It's
the mime is his new
cartoon.
dad.
It's like
Stepfather.
yeah, like he's new dad. Unless he could
Yeah.
time travel, he's new dad.
Yeah.
It's new dad.
Yeah.
Either that or it's actually Professor Oak.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean,
Delia, she did work under Professor Oak as an apprentice for a long time.
Exactly. Yep. Then,
mm,
It's like Ash Ketchum and Ash and Gary confirmed brothers. It's canon now.
Right. Professor Oak was like the only male in Pallet Town, so he got to get it on like a lion.
at his choice.
Keep the pride going.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no. See, it delves into the deeper lore of Pokemon. It was like, because I don't know if you've seen any of those theories of like a whole ass war that took place like some years prior to Ash being born, which is why you have like Lieutenant Surge and like you see so few. At least in like the first few games, there's like just so few male characters. I think
Yeah.
if I'm remembering that correctly. Or like, are the few that you do see are like on the older side,
Yeah, something like that.
right? So it's like, oh, they sent all the men off to war, and like a lot of them died, and so that's why I know you have so few back here in towns. And now
Right.
they now have to use these 10-year-olds as a workforce, send them out to the wilds and capture Pokemon.
I mean,
It
if
all
it
makes
works,
sense.
it works.
It's all coming together. Oh man, but yeah. So that was my two main things from this week that caught my eye. Let's
Did you
see.
see the TikTok that I sent earlier from the news? It was like a Wisconsin news thing from like the 1991.
No, I think I missed it. What was it about?
So they were explaining how Gen X was feeling as 20-year-olds and the uncertainties that they were having about going into like adulthood. And
Mhm.
I was like, wow, this is still really relevant to millennials and Gen Zers and probably Gen Alphas.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you go to the comments of that, they're all saying like, so that's why these three generations just all understand because they're all alike. Because
Yeah.
it was talking about how inflation went up a lot between just baby boomers and Gen X, and how like the money that they make is not reflective of what they need to be making in order to live the life that their parents led.
Right.
And how the competition for jobs is ridiculous. And I was sitting there listening to it, and I'm just like, yeah, that's still relatable. Yeah, yep, attracts still. Yep. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, so basically, we've been getting screwed for like 3 generations, not just our generation on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's interesting because some of the Gen Zers have Gen X parents.
Right.
And they were talking about how their Gen X parents were raising them in the same kind of like.
Oh, the youngest of the Gen X. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like they were raising them to kind of like question how things run and like what to do about life and like the uncertainties of life, and like teaching them about how they navigated things and how it's still relatable. And I was just sitting there like, damn.
Yep.
Why didn't I have been raised by Gen Xer? I feel so seen. But I have a sibling that's a Gen Xer. He's a super young Gen Xer. And so I was like, huh, I see.
Yeah, because how old are your parents again?
Mine were born 1661.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
So they're like the end of the baby boom.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, because yours and mine are, well, yeah, they're old enough to the point where they kind of just managed to get in under the wire where it's like before it fully screwed them over.
Yeah. So like my mom she graduated high school 79.
Okay, yeah.
And so was in college in the 80s.
Yeah.
Right.
And
right,
I was telling one of my coworkers, I was like, yeah, and her company paid for her to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
It was part-time. She worked full-time and went to school part-time, which is why it took her so long to graduate. But she got 2 degrees while she was there.
Mm-hmm.
2 bachelor degrees, mind you.
Fucking hell.
And like was in tech before it like went through the huge boom. So we were talking about like how much she made in 2002. It's only like a 9K more than what I make right now.
Oh, jeez.
But the buying power of that
was
so much bigger
right.
in 2002 than it is right now.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, so you were making like good money and could like afford a house and all these different payments.
Yeah, right. At the time, yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
Oh, and she goes, yeah. And it was great. If they hadn't laid me off because Chiquita was going through a bankruptcy, I would have been fine.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, just it was such like a mind-blowing moment to sit there and listen to her talk about this, and I was just like, damn, I got super screwed over.
Yep. 100%. Because what was that? I think, did I not? I feel like I tagged at least one of y'all in this. It was like a guy, or I was talking to somebody about this, but a guy was interviewing this old lady in like a department store or whatever, and she's in her like 80s or 90s. I was like, oh, how much did your first house cost? I was like, oh, it was
I saw that.
Yeah. It was like
$16,000
or some shit like that. And I'm like, right?
Yeah.
I was like, there are used cars now that cost more than that.
Oh, I was talking to a guy at work, and I said what my car payment was, and he goes like, that's like half my mortgage.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And that's a used car. Right. That's not a brand new car.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm just like. I'm trying to make this car I've got last for as long as fucking possible. I don't care if it looks like it's been in a decay in a dump for like 50 years. Still gets me point A to point B. I'm kidding.
Right.
Hang on to this shit.
As long as it can move, then that's all that matters at that point.
What feels why I have the car that I have now is because I got into that wreck and I had to get a new car.
Yeah.
And it was a new to me car.
Right.
Like the heater's gonna be long broken in my car, and I'm just like, maybe bust out some windows, like a MacGyver, like a campfire inside the back seat, and like there we go.
Yeah.
You know what, Nick? They have blankets that you can plug into your cigarette lighter.
There you go.
There you go.
Nah, I like my car campfire better.
I was just giving you an easier option, my dude. Less work.
Yeah.
Have a fucking twisted metal scenario here, just some fucking monstrosity of a car just on fire, flames, spikes all over.
I mean, that'd be interesting. Put it on the car, take some other cars out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, everybody will give me a nice wide berth on the highways. It'd be great.
That's exactly what you need.
Like, I'll bust out the clown mask when feeling real edgy.
Yep.
Bring it right back to 2016.
Yep.
Was it 2016? I think it was 2016 when all the clowns were out.
Was it? Oh, that's right.
Make it a menace.
Yeah, was that around the time like the remake of It came out or some shit?
It was like
I thought
right
that's what sparked
before
it,
it.
or before it. Yeah,
It was before it.
yeah, because I know like there was that and like a whole resurgence of people just running around as Batman for a while.
Yes,
there.
it was like clowns and Batman, and like they were just showing up and harassing people, and it was really creepy. Like, okay, guys, we need to have a conversation. Can you not?
Yeah.
Can
No,
you?
no,
just
bring them back, and they can hang out with the Dino Divas up in Maryland. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be an interesting combo. Somebody might be
You're
into
right.
it. I'll give them that.
Yep.
It's like I must apprehend these Dino Divas for Gotham. Descends down.
Perfect.
All right. Well, anyway, on that note, we're hitting our time limit here. Hope you all enjoyed this one. Please like and
Farewell,
subscribe and all
everybody.
that good stuff, and have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye.